Alright, boys, you're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and this is the last time I intend to talk about this loser. But there's a user by the name of Re69, also known as Ballsniff, who used to be a pretty regular member in my chat. He is obsessed with me. Chronically so, which is why I don't plan to give him any attention after this. But I'm just going to do this pointing out how much of a sad, pathetic loser he is. So, first off, let's hit a couple of bullet points before I dive into all the shit he does. One point he might try to make is try to claim that he and Ree aren't the same person. That doesn't actually matter. He clearly is, but even if he's not, it doesn't matter. Because the reason for that is, both accounts do the same kind of thing. Both accounts have the exact same kind of humor. Both accounts fuck with me and try to cause problems for my channel. And Ree has admitted multiple times that they are the same person on that account. He has referred to himself as, like, his Tyler Durden. I'd say it's more akin to Gollum, but that's actually an insult to Gollum. So, another point he might try to bring up is to try and say, oh, well, you know, you trolled Valerie or Cucumber Clan. The key difference is my trolling was always lighthearted. Now, I did criticism that wasn't lighthearted. I got mean sometimes with the criticism. However, I never crossed certain lines. And as soon as I thought things were getting out of hand, I backed off for a while. When Malachi made that note, right? I have standards. There are things I won't do to fuck with people. And if Malachi had a wiki page, I would not fuck with that. So the kind of things that Reed does is he fucks with my wiki page to promote his Ballsniff account. He'll go on there, and he'll try to promote it. Again, it's very pathetic. He just wants to make himself relevant. He is irrelevant. He is a non-issue. I do not value him. He is not worth my attention, and this will be the only video giving him that attention. There's a reason I don't talk about him in chat. There's a reason I don't acknowledge chats about him. Because all he wants is attention, because he's a sad, pathetic loser who can't just get a regular hobby. So, what does he do? Well, first off, a couple years ago, he showed up in my chat as Re69. And initially, he used to just argue with me on politics and stuff, right? He used to just kind of be like, oh, but this and that, and just argue. He'd just argue with me, and I'd be like, well, no, because this and this. Eventually, he started to seem like he was coming around on some of my points. Then he claimed that I red-pilled him. The more and more we talked, the more normal he kinda got for a minute there. He joined my Discord server. While he was in there, every time me or Corbin would say something, he would agree with it. Even if we were just saying something horrible as a joke. Like, he clearly couldn't distinguish between that. He would just blindly agree with everything we said, even if it was fucking horrific as a joke. So, we realized he doesn't really have an original thought in his head, right? He doesn't really think. But that was mostly harmless. Then came in his Ballsniff account. Now, before he had a different Ballsniff account, which he claimed was him impersonating this Ballsniff guy. And again, as I have said, it actually doesn't matter if they are the same person or not, because they act the same. So functionally, regardless of the fact if they are the same person, they basically are, because they act exactly the same. So, he goes in the chat, he starts saying stuff on his Ballsniff account, on the old one, right? That was the other one. We called him out, eventually he stopped it with that one. But then he did a video on Malachi on his Ballsniff Rumble account, which, by the way, has been terminated. He is one of the only people I have known who is bad enough to get terminated from fucking Rumble. Rumble lets a lot more shit slide than YouTube, so that is a fucking feat. But anyway, he invites this Ballsniff account to my server, and I think, oh, it's the same, it's just more of the same dumb shit. Fine. So he joins in, starts just saying a bunch of dumb shit. He just says troll stuff. Like, he'll just say horrible statements for the sake of saying horrible statements. Which, you know, it's fine and all. I don't have a problem with that per se, but then we just started being like, well, it's not funny. So, Corbin started deleting his comments because Ree had 2 accounts in there. And so Corbin just started deleting his comments because if he's not going to say... And we told him, you know, say something funny and we won't delete it. Like, I wasn't deleting it But I was allowing Corbin to delete it, because that in and of itself was funnier than the awful stupid comments he was making, where he'd just say edgy shit for the sake of saying edgy shit. And, like, there was no context or content to them. They were just unfunny. He would just, like, say slurs, or, like, say, oh, but fuck women. Like, it would just, like, be stuff like, and granted, obviously my views with women can be pretty controversial. But he would just say horrible shit, and be like, but it's base, see? And, like, he did that on his re-account, too. But anyway, I don't mind him saying horrible shit, but it was unfunny, because he just started being really repetitive. Eventually, he tried to get one of my streams taken down, because I called him and Ree the same person. Which, again, they very clearly are. They act exactly the same. They have the exact same sense of humor, and both accounts always tend to show up to fuck with me at the same time. For instance, they followed me into the Wikitubia Discord server just to try and get my attention because I keep blocking them everywhere else, and because they're banned from my server. He just keeps coming he just comes in and he's got a bunch of alts in there still. Like, known alts I know are him is he has Atlas, Ree, Ballsniff. Those are like the three main ones. And he tried to claim on the Atlas one, oh, but I hate Ballsniff. No, you fucking don't. First off, because you're the same person. But even if you weren't, you're in the same server. You say horrible lies about me. I've seen them. I haven't been in the server, but I've had someone who was in the server send me some fucking screenshots, so don't even fucking bullshit me with that. But let's talk about his server. He has a Discord server where he LARPs as like 12 fucking people arguing with himself. They're all just saying the same thing and arguing with himself. It is the most sad, pathetic, petty shit I've ever seen. He is a fucking parasite. It is fucking pathetic. Like, what kind of loser makes an entire server just to argue with himself to try and make me believe that he's different people? Who the fuck does that? But, yeah, he kept going onto my wiki page, making up lies about me, trying to promote his account, pretending to be Malachi at one point, which then he tried to tell me, because that's the one that I ultimately banned him for, because I banned the Ballsniff account when he mass reported one of my streams, and then, after that, I banned the Ree account when he changed my Wikitubia page again, because I kept telling him, you better fucking stop. I gave him a warning. I told him, this is your last chance. If I even suspect you are fucking with me, you're gone. And he said he understood. Then he goes on, pretending to be Malachi, conveniently also the same day on his Ree account in my YouTube chat, said, I wonder what Malachi's up to. Clearly trying to get me to be like, oh shit, Malachi's fucking with me. First off, the account, which was called Valerie Robertson, referred to Malachi as both Malachi and Valachi. He wouldn't actually refer to himself as either of those things. He would only refer to himself as Valerie. Valachi is an insult I came up with. There's no way he'd have called himself that, first off. He wouldn't draw attention, and second off, he wouldn't draw attention to the drama because he just wants to move the fuck on. And I haven't really talked to or about Malachi in a few months. Because, frankly, there's no point. Like, if I had something to say, sure, I'd say it. Like, if he did, like, a video and I had a response to it, I'd do a response. But Malachi's kind of dried up that well. Like, a lot of the interest is not there anymore. But, like, again, he tries to compare what he does to to my shit with Malachi. But again, all the times I was mean were genuine criticism trying to get him to better himself. Like, they were mean. Yeah, they were really fucking mean. But that all the times I trolled him were really fucking lighthearted. Like, we just made little jokes. I would never mass report someone's stream falsely. I would never lie about someone on a fucking wiki page. I wouldn't do that. I am better than you, Ree. You are a terrible person. You need to get a better fucking hobby. I don't know what your fucking motivations are. I don't know why you're so fucking obsessed with me. I don't know why you think it's so funny to pretend to agree with me and then pretend to be like the exact opposite of me. I don't know why you think it's so fucking funny to like try and follow me and fucking send me friend requests on multiple accounts pretending that you hate yourself. Like, it is ridiculous. I am willing to bet that the I Hate Ballsniff account on YouTube is also him creating a fake adversary for himself to have fake drama. That is how sad and pathetic and irrelevant and pointless his life is. He is completely and totally irrelevant, and there is nothing of value that he contributes to society or to the internet. Basically, that's all I have to say. Ree is a loser. He wants my attention. He is desperate for my attention. He really wants to get back into my Discord server, which, first off, isn't going to happen. Second off, doing all the shit you've been doing would only make me strengthen my decision not to let you back in. And third off, I gave you a ton of fucking chances. Way more than I should have. So yeah, Ree is a loser. He is one sad, pathetic fucking loser who has no life. All he wants to do is fuck with me. And also, another thing he does is he constantly makes edits to Sneeko and EDP445's wiki pages. Like, that's all he has interest in, is fucking with me, Sneeko, and EDP445. And obviously, those two have no connection to me in any way, shape, or form, obviously. Like, Sneeko's fucking stupid a lot of the time. EDP445 is a fucking predator. So, I don't know what his obsession is with me and how, like, what his obsession is with modifying those. I think he probably edits some other pages, too. But he's a loser. He is a sad loser, and he needs to get a better hobby. He needs to realize that what he does isn't funny. All it does is fuck shit up. And it's fucking... It's weird. I don't get it. I don't understand the motivation. Like, if he had stayed cool, he'd still be in the Discord server. But I think he was a troll the whole time. I think somehow he thought it was a gotcha by pretending to be cool with me and then turning into a fucking maniac. Maybe he thought, like, it was a gotcha when he did this weird video claiming that, like, he was a Christian and that we need to all do what God says, and, like, if God tells you to do all this horrible stuff, then you do it. And, like, that was his message to me. I think he was trying to criticize me for saying I was Christian, but he clearly doesn't understand my views on Christianity because they are very non-traditional. But yeah, that's really all. I'm not going to talk about this loser anymore. He is pathetic and isn't deserving of our attention. So that's why, again, I will not acknowledge any chats about him. He is completely irrelevant. He does not matter. Have a good one. Toodles.